And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com. Make sure, as always, you visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Get to the app, get some delivery. They will bring it right to your front door for a wonderful Sunday lunch or dinner, pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop, or get down to Dayton, Kentucky. Tell them to pump it up and save 15% off of your order. All right, let's get this show on the road. Evening, Aaron. How are you?
Doing all right.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Big one tomorrow. Today, depending on when you're watching, as the Bearcats travel to Memphis, their final road trip as a member of the American Athletic Conference.
Finally.
I think I saw the line opened at 6.5. It has been bet down to around 5, I believe, already. So there you go for your gaming pleasure. It should be what you're looking for, right around where you're looking. Download Betfred on your phone, betfredsports.com, or the Betfred app. Use promo code Bearcat, all caps, for your Bearcat Journal promotions, while also supporting BCJ. I got a juicy one today, Aaron. A little Betfred boost. Kansas State and Baylor on the money line. Kansas State dropped Oklahoma State on the road, and Baylor got Texas at home. And I think it boosted to 310, plus 310. So
Nice.
Not bad.
Nice.
Not bad. Good little afternoon. Gave me something to do while I was hanging out with Kelly today up at Good Sam. Made the little 2 to 4 window at least have some intrigue. So help us out. Download the app.
Seeing the line right now at -5.5 with the over/under at 152.5.
Yeah, like I said, when I saw it opened at 6.5, it's kind of bounced down to 5 and a little bit around there. So get to Betfred if you live in Ohio. Game responsibly and bet within your means. Words of advice. Aaron, I go back to this. I was looking over the Memphis game that they lost at home. A couple things that stand out. Obviously, the big one, they started the game 1 of 13 from 3.
Not great.
They only ended 6 of 24, even though they were 5 of 11 in the second half, as they tried to come back from down 10. They were down 42-32 at the half. I think when you look at this, you had, for Memphis, you had DeAndre Williams had 26, Kendrick Davis had 21, Keontae Kennedy had 10. Kennedy will not be available as he got upset after the Houston loss, punched a wall and broke his hand.
Oopsie.
So he will not be playing tomorrow. For Cincinnati, Victor Locken, 22, Landers Nolly, 18, David DeJulius with 15. Both teams, only 3 guys in double figures. If you look at the rest for Cincinnati, I mean, they got nothing from everybody else. Mike Adams-Woods only had 2. Odio Guama only had 2. Jeremiah Davenport, 6. Dan Skillings, 3. Only 15 assists on 24 made baskets. Like I said, they were 6 of 24 from 3. Dave was great, 10 of 11 from the free throw line, but the rest of the team, 4 of 10. There were definitely areas where Cincinnati can drastically improve game over game. And I think if you get anything out of your secondary guys, this is a game Cincinnati can go on the road and win tomorrow.
I think replicating 22 is going to be tough for Vic, but I think that collectively between Vic, Odie, and Kalu, I think you can actually better 22 between the 3 of them. In that game, Odie had 2. So I guess between the two of them, they had 24, and I would expect between the three of them, I think you're going to end up with more than 24 there, just in the way that they've been playing of late.
There will be a difference for Memphis. They did not have their center Malcolm Dandridge in the
He had a
first
game
game.
against Cincinnati last year. Ooh.
Yeah, he is back for this one, so that'll kind of, for them, I think that erases. He's different, obviously, than Keontae Kennedy. Keontae Kennedy, more of a shooter, but in terms of production, he should be in line to replace that 10 they lost from Kennedy. Like, you're kind of trading one for the other. So that's kind of a wash. I do think, he's long, he's athletic, he's going to make things a little more difficult around the rim than Cincinnati had the first time, where Vic was 11 for 14 in that game with 10 rebounds.
Pretty good.
3 steals.
Cincinnati also had 12 turnovers in that game, though. DeJulius is having 5, which is not normal for him at all. And so, again, I think that's an area where he can easily improve that I don't think that they're going to continue to replicate. Whereas Memphis, over the course of the last several seasons, they've struggled to take care of the ball in general. So we'll see if they can replicate some of that. That said, no, I'm with you. I mean, if you can get some production out of your bench, especially if you get – I'm not looking for Dan to have another 15-point game, but if you can get somewhere in the realm of, 7 to 12, that would be fantastic. Obviously, had Jeremiah started to come off the bench at that point?
I believe he had. Yeah, Odie was starting.
Okay.
But again, one of the first games that JD came off the bench.
I think this team's playing much different now than if we were talking about when JD first started going to the bench. This team has played drastically different since guys have moved roles. I don't know that Kalu played a minute in that game, and obviously that's become a thing.
D&P coach's decision.
So it's I don't know. I think this is a little bit different team than played Memphis before. And again, I know I don't like to make the excuse, but playing at, what was it, 3 p.m. on January 1st?
1 p.m. January.
1 p.m. Even worse. 1 p.m. during a Bengals game. So
January
you didn't have
22nd. It was.
Was it that late?
Yep.
Who was it on January 1st?
That
I don't know. I'm running without a screen right now. Normally, I would have my second screen up and everything. I'm making excuses for me. I'm not making excuses for them.
Temple was January 1st.
All right. So we already
both home losses. So you were in the
ballpark.
Yeah, you had a theme. You just the data was scrambled.
But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot more on the line in this one, as it is one of your last 2 games. You kind of want to give it to Penny Hardaway if you're Wes Miller, as this could be the last time that you even play the Memphis Tigers for who knows how long.
Forever.
You may run into them in a tournament somewhere.
I don't mind the Memphis rivalry. I wouldn't mind at some point in time seeing Memphis home and home with Memphis on the schedule down the road. Whereas like ECU, Tulsa, Temple.
No, thank you. Get them out of here.
TFO.
H. Yep.
I don't even need the H, just O.
But I don't know. I mean, take care of the ball, play the make shots offense, rebound. They did lose the rebounding battle in this one, 34-31. As Memphis is getting their center back, I don't know that you're necessarily going to improve on the rebounding against Memphis. They're long, man. They're long.
And they've that's been a staple under Penny, is they've been very good on defense. So you know they're going to be physical. You know they're going to be tough. You just hope maybe like they know their season essentially is going to come down to beating Houston next week. And you
Memphis?
maybe hope
Yeah.
If they're going to make the tournament, they need that signature win. And you hope maybe you catch them
overlooking Cincinnati.
Well, they went to Cincinnati. They beat Cincinnati. They had control of that game pretty much start to finish. It was almost always in that 7 to 12 point range that Memphis had the lead. Cincinnati would cut it down. Memphis would push it back out. Like, it wasn't a game that they had to sweat profusely at the end to win. So, you always wonder, like, in that return game, does the team that won the first time let their guard down a little bit? Like, kind of, we got these guys. Like, they can't. We're going to run 2 guys at the Julius and get the ball out of his hands. We know Landers. We don't think he can beat us. There's no way Vic has 11 for 14. Like, I wonder.
22 and 10. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if this is a game you might catch Memphis just being a little bit more full of themselves, a little bit more confident than maybe they should be heading into this game. And Cincinnati's been playing outside of the final 2 minutes of games. They've been playing really well.
Fair enough.
Maybe try to get up 8 or 9 in the last 2 minutes instead of 7. 7 has been 7's been unlucky the past couple games. Up 7 with 90 seconds to go. But the other key, and this is going to be interesting, I think. Like, I haven't had a chance to watch Memphis much since Lomax came back, but Alex Lomax is back for them, and he's their point guard. When Cincinnati played them the first time, Kendrick Davis was their point guard.
By de facto, yeah.
The reason that's interesting, Aaron, is you mentioned that length, right? Well, if Lomax and Davis are on the floor together, those are both sub 6 foot guys.
Yeah, that's a much shorter lineup than what they're capable of throwing out there. Sure.
Yeah. Normally, when you have Davis just playing the point, they're insects everywhere else. 6'5", long, Now, if you like that, maybe gives Cincinnati a little bit of a reprieve from the way Memphis has played them in the past. If you have more of a lineup that puts 2 smaller guys on the floor. So that's interesting to me. And then they have not been good at this of late. You have got to keep from putting Kendrick Davis on the line. I mean, he was what? He was only 4 of 10 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3 in that first game. They defended him pretty well, minus allowing him to go to the free throw line 14 times and hitting 12 of them. Like, that's going to kill you.
Yeah.
That's going to just give him that. It's Sean Kilpatrick, right? Even when he had an off night from the floor, he would find a way to get himself to the line 14 times.
Right.
And you would think, and it didn't feel like SK played great today, but he had 22. Well, you get to 22 on a bad night by getting the free throw line 14 times.
Right.
So you got to keep him off the line. And then I don't know what the answer is for DeAndre Williams. He's 27. He's in the prime of his basketball career. The crazy thing is, he's 26. I'm pretty sure he's 26.
That's insane.
I mean, he's been playing college basketball since you were in college. Pretty much. Not far off.
Not far off.
Like, it's wild how long that guy's been around. If you can at least slow down, like if you can make him and Davis work to combine for 30 instead of 45, you're going to have to beat them at Memphis.
And I go back to the turnovers. Cincinnati turned Memphis over 13 times in that game. I know we said that they had 12. Cincinnati had 12 of their own. But if you can get that back under 10, that could be a huge difference in this game.
Yeah, but Memphis doesn't care if they turn it. That's the way that they play. Like, they don't.
They may not, but I care if they do.
I know, but I'm saying they don't. They don't let it affect them all that much offensively.
That's because when you can't fix it. I mean, it was kind of like Cincinnati with free throws for years, right? Like, what are you gonna do? We know we suck at it.
It's gonna suck. We're gonna figure it out.
Right.
But are you ready to jump in with the Bearcats in this one, or you've been skeptical? You've been skeptical in the past couple games. Your skepticism, like, I think you might need to stay on Memphis here. You thought UCF was going to win. You thought Temple was going to win.
I did.
If you switch up here, the people might get out their pitchforks and come looking for you.
Well, it's true to my word. I will stick with Memphis, and
See it to believe it. That was your stance.
This is a very big game for Cincinnati. Obviously, the biggest one they have left in the two. But I mean, if you looked at the schedule at the very beginning of the season, you'd have had both games against Memphis and both games against Houston circled for sure.
Yeah.
So win a big
one.
All
right. That's a wrap. We'll see you next time. This is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.